The following program is for entertainment and educational purposes. Anything taken out of context is your own fault. The following program is not sponsored. The following host does not sound like this in real life.
Omito for the beat.
And here we are, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Waddy Talk podcast, but also very sad one because it's the season finale. Things happen. We have reached this point in life. This show has been on since August. It's now like October or something like that. So great. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to you guys on YouTube. Welcome to you guys listening via Spotify, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever this show plays at. Not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of excited because we have finally reached the end. Also, guys, if you see me over here twiddling, just so you know that, oh man, I am actually on TikTok Live. I'm coming via TikTok Live. I did a thing. Ain't nobody on it though, so we just gonna see how it goes. If they pop on it, cool. You guys pop on it, great. If they don't, life goes on. Anyway, I wanted to try a thing. Let's just say I tried a thing to be done. So anyway, guys, yeah, here we are. We are at the season 3 finale of the Waddy Talk podcast. Remember, our theme this season was love. Our theme this season was it was love. We had some great topics and everything. I hope you all got something out of them, and I hope you guys get something out of this one too. We made it again on TikTok Live. Hello to everybody on TikTok Live. We are filming the Waddy Talk podcast season 3. So so we are doing a thing kind of live. No. Anyway, guys, so let's get right into the topic, season finale. First off, I want to say thank you for tuning in to this season. I told y'all we was on TikTok Live. Shout out to Gregory. He is saying, hey, what's up, Gregory? Glad you tuned in. Currently filming season 3 of the podcast. Actually, the last episode. And I kind of been BSing on going live and everything like that. So I decided to try a thing to see if they were gonna do it. But glad you tuned in. And you guys are actually the first to see a live recording of how this show goes. So guys, without any further ado, let's get into topic. This episode is a little bit of an extra episode just for the sake of, because I wanted to do a thing. I realize when I'm talking to people and realize I'm talking to my friends and family things, there were some things I didn't see the real importance of until I got older, and that's kind of where I'm at now in life, where certain things might be important. So there are some things such as, I call this episode things I advocate for. Like, such as, not necessarily, I'm not like one of those who goes, yeah, we should do this and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm not a protester at all. I would not be a protester just because that is something waiting to happen. And I don't want to be a part of that at all. Okay, so there's that. So anyway, guys, there are a couple things I'm going to discuss. It all has to do with love. You know, it all has to do with love, which was our theme for this season. Love is patient, love is kind, love is beautiful, love is not hard to do. Love hurts sometimes. We had a lot of discussion and things like that. Anyway, there's a couple things. I'm just kind of gonna list it or whatever. Trying to think how I really want to do it. Like I'm probably just gonna list it and then just kind of discuss it. One of them I kind of don't want to, as of now, I don't want to really discuss it because that's going to cause a whole ruckus and I might end up canceled. So, yeah, again, we are coming via live through TikTok. Shout out to nobody that's in this, live. So we're just going to do a thing. Okay. So anyway, guys, so back on the topic. The first things first is one of the things I do advocate for that I discuss on the show is mental health. Once again, this all has to do with love, and I think it's real important that we take care of each other's mental health and our mental health. Mind you, I'm that type of person that really doesn't think if it's not my business, I personally don't care. But don't be selfish either. Like if somebody needs you, somebody mentally needs you, you can tell something is mentally wrong. You should probably check that out. You should probably ask that person how they're doing. Ask them see how they feel, things like that. Yeah, you should probably check on them, see how they're doing, everything like that, because think about it. Once again, you might be all that person might have. Mental health is very much important. I know they talk about women's mental health and how men's mental health is kind of like pushed aside or whatever. I'm okay. I don't have anything to really discuss. I can tell you everything right here, right now, and I'll be all right. And I would go, whew, that feels good. It feels like, you let it out. But, yeah, that's, some things, but as I, people more so now go, men's mental health is important because it was just true, because think about it. Men are designed to go, be strong and everything like that. And typically men, we can't go to nobody sometimes. But shout out to my safe place, as I told y'all not too long ago. Because anytime I do feel in a distressed, I can definitely go to her for sure. So yeah. Men's mental health is important. There's something other thing. I think most of this actually, the things I kind of advocate for per se, is for children. I was told recently that I should probably do a kids show. Here's the joke, okay? I'm gonna explain this here, and I'm gonna explain this now why possibly doing a kids show would be great for me. I think it's money in it for sure. I think I have the personality. Here's the problem, okay? And some of the things, like I said, I kind of advocate for more so deal with children. Everybody knows I'm a child magnet, right? Everybody knows. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but children are a blessing from God, okay? So we should probably consider that more often when we see children. We should probably treat them right, because you never know what you could learn from a child and everything like that. However, though, I was told I could do a kids show, and here's the thing. I have the elements to develop a kids show. I don't have a concept. That's the only thing. Like most of the concepts I've studied and looked into as far as television production goes. First involves a background in education. I don't have one. I would definitely have people like that, like on my team or whatever with education. Times changed. I think I know how to hold attention. I think I can probably do that. I don't know, because if you cut this show off now, I'm not gonna be mad. Yeah, I just yap a lot. But also, yeah, I don't have a concept. That's the problem. It would take like a lot of it's not as easy as you think. A lot goes into, I would care too much. I would care a lot. Like I would literally care about what I was doing, which is what most shows you would hope care about, and then you turn around and find out they're just doing it for money, which is why your children aren't learning anything. Just putting that out there. So but I think I have the elements to have a kids show. Like I know I know what would work, what wouldn't work, attention span. I know about just about all of that or whatever. The problem is I don't have a concept. I would use my face, but also let's see how that would go, Like, I want to make it more. I don't want to wear nothing. Well, okay. This hoodie might be bright, somewhat. It is. But I don't want to necessarily. I don't want to be like, like cheesy and corny. Like, most of the concepts I think about have already been done, and they worked for when they worked. So, they did it. It happened. I didn't mean to do that. It happened when it happened, and it worked successfully, and that's why people remember it for the rest of their lives. I would care. Like, I would want to teach children, things like I said, if I ever had worked with children, besides the fact I worked at work, in the future, it would be with television. I wouldn't mind being a part of something that really teaches children, whatever, but also I think it's important. And I don't think, and honestly, the reason I would actually do it is for one of the things I advocate for: the importance of child development. I really think social media and technology has really ruined kids, versus the way that we grew up. Well, it's at the back. If you're watching the way that we grew up, if you're younger than me, this is probably about you. Just saying. Anyway, yeah, I think the way that we grew up was different, and it's probably different from our parents. I think we lived in a more colorful time. Our parents, they probably had some good things or whatever. They had some good things, like things then. But as far as like education goes now for children, I think screen time and all that has messed them up. Due to the fact that they're not really. First of all, the people that's having kids now are just having kids. They're not parenting their kids. And listen, again, there's a message at the beginning of this show that says, do not take anything out of context. This is just stuff I observe. I work with kids. I can tell who parents their kids, who doesn't. Especially the ones around me. Oh, I can tell for sure, because they have manners and things like that. They know how to talk, and they most of them listen or whatever, right? But the education that we have now nobody has patience for kids no more. We're just having kids because it feels good. That's it. That is literally why we're having kids, and then they're not teaching nothing. So what they do, technology is great. I think it's a great tool. However, it's how you use technology with them, like, you don't give them an iPad, sit them in front of an iPad and expect them to teach. No, you gotta take time with them, dude. You gotta take time to teach them, because look, I take pictures for kids. Okay, I'm a school photographer. It makes decent money somewhat, but one, I need to know their kids' names. I need to know the spelling of their names and all that, right? These kids cannot spell their names. Some of them act like they don't even know their names. Like, I have to sit there, and first of all, I have to walk up. Now, mind you, when they come up to my camera, per se, I try to have this good, goofy personality sort of thing, like, going on. So that they can feel confident, so that they can feel like, oh, this guy's a big kid too. I can talk to him or whatever. And then, I get to do my job and go home and go to bed. So, there's that. Anyway, but some of them don't know how to spell their names. Some of them act like they don't know their names. They don't even know their last names. Like, they can't spell their last names. Let me explain. I could spell my name at 1. My mother would tell you this easily. I taught myself ABCs, things like that. I think everything as far as like child's education goes begins at home. I really believe that begins at home. Home, where they are. But like I said, parents aren't having kids to be a parent. They're having kids just to have them, and that's how you end up with kids, like that. Now, I'm not saying all kids are like that. I want y'all to know that, okay, I'm just saying, I think we can do better as far as educating kids. Because think about it, they're not going to be kids for the rest of their lives, okay? But there are some things they need to know. There are some safety things they need to know. There are certain things they should watch that helps develop child development. The things that we watch, then I'm not going to name nothing because I don't want to do that. That's a lot of education. But the things that we watched back then was designed to develop our minds. It's childhood development. That means probably on that production team, this is how I know I watch a lot of TV, because I look at things kind of like this, but probably on that production team, there are educators, there are researchers. Take away the camera crew and all that, right? Take away all that. Take away the actors and all this instruments. There's educators, there's marketers, there are people going out there talking to kids, asking, hey, what, asking them questions, like survey crew or focus group or something like that. And these are people that really care about what they do, so that, they can say that. And I don't think their reason is to say because they have a part in their education, but I think because so they can say they made a difference in our educational system with the development of a child, saying that, hey, I made a difference in that child's life because of whatever the program is. There's actually more that I know some of them annoy you because it's kid shows, but still they actually care. The people on that show actually care. But like I said, and not only that, not only should we even focus on letting a video show app more so now educate our child? No, I don't think so. I think that's an element. I think that's a resource, a good resource, especially when you don't feel like it. But it's good that they turn some minutes like that. But like I said, everything starts at home. Kids also are not reading as much now. They do and then they don't. Instead, they're on games and iPads and TikTok and YouTube, and then you wonder why your little boy can't spell red, or your little boy's favorite color is a chicken nugget. See how that works? Like I said, it begins at home. But then again, the people that's having kids, and mind y'all, listen, I'm not dissing anything. I'm just saying statistically, okay? And mind you, this might not even be real statistics, but just saying everything begins at home or whatever. So yeah, I think that's a part of it, but this could also lead into another thing too, and that other thing is foster homes and adoption. Now mind you, I'm just kind of listing things I kind of advocate for, just because I said I was going to do 11 episodes this season, and honestly I had a whole list and everything like that. Honest to you, I forgot it, so I'm just kind of going based off a little BTS, also for you guys on TikTok that is watching. So anyway, but also when I say it begins at home, mind you, some children don't have homes either. So that's kind of when I can honestly right now eat up my words, and then I can also not eat up my words. But also some of them don't have homes, like foster home and adoption. I advocate for that. There are a lot of children like that. First of all, anybody who goes that far to give a child up for adoption, first of all, I don't want to say that's a bad thing. I want to say I respect that. If you feel like you wouldn't be a good parent or a fit for this child, and you're doing it for the child's best interest, not because you pissed off now, not because you give a child away because you pissed off or whatever, right? I think I respect that you really matured yourself enough to say I wouldn't be a good parent, but I don't want to have an abortion or anything like that. And I was gonna say something about that, but I'm not gonna do that because I cancel my own show, and let alone I actually want viewers. So there's that. However, I respect that. Anything like that. Now I don't know how adoption works. I mean, I know about it ish. I watched enough sitcoms to kind of figure that out. But yeah, I don't know what all goes into it. I know I had a professor. All his kids are adopted. They are really good kids, by the way. Shout out to them. I remember he used to tell me he used to tell me they think you're famous or whatever, but they used to come, to my college or whatever, and I would just talk to them like kids make your life exciting, just so you know that, like, they have a big imagination or whatever, so they make it exciting. So, let alone that's what I had thought. Anyway, yeah, I respect anybody who does that, who's like, you know what, well, I can't be, I would be an unfit parent, and I believe somebody else would do that. But then that also can cause problems down the line, where it's like, well, who's my real mother and such and such. I suggest you guys watch The Imitation of Life. If you haven't seen it, let me explain what Imitation of Life is. Imitation of Life is this really good movie. It's by, I'm not gonna name who it's by because y'all don't even know the name. Y'all wouldn't know this name. I hardly even know the name. But Imitation of Life is a good movie. It's basically about this Caucasian family, a mom and a daughter. They hire this African American, I'm gonna use politically correct words, right? They hire this African American who basically is a maid. It's set like in the 30s and 40s, so there was racism and all of that then. Let's just keep that in mind, okay? But yeah, she hired her as a maid or whatever, and so next thing you know, they grew together. They grew closer and closer and became family. The maid had a daughter. She adopted. The daughter was Caucasian. She was white. Now, mind you, that didn't mean much. I mean, it was okay up until I think she had to go to the school or something. The maid, she was a black woman. She had to go to the school or something one day, and then she had to go there, and then I think it was a bunch of white kids. She was like the only one, and she was telling the kids, "You're not my mother. You're not my mother," and such and such and such. Okay, that right there. Oh, yeah. She did that, and it caused problems like later down the line. And then eventually the little white girl ran away. And then, yeah, it pissed me off. It pissed me off because here's the thing. Okay, I'll explain more. Okay, first of all, this woman. Now, mind you, it's a movie. Okay, it's production, it's television. It's not real. But here's the part that pissed me off. First of all, this woman loved you. This woman made sacrifices for you. Adoption or not, I think if you became a part of a family in a different way, okay? And there's nothing wrong with the way you became family. Like, example, I have cousins who aren't. You know what? I have cousins that I really didn't know weren't. I mean, technically, my cousins. I didn't know that till I got older, right? But guess what? And when I did know it, I didn't care. I said, oh, okay. Guess what they are to me? A cousin. When I was born, there was a cousin. When, for the rest of our lives, they're going to be a cousin. I'm not going to diss them because they were stepkids and messed up. No, like that. I'm part of a step family. Yeah, you know what? I take that back. I'm part of a step family. I was gonna say something else about that, and then I realized, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not on this show. So, but anyway, I'm part of a step family. Guess what? They have not looked at me. They have not looked at me as a step anything. Okay? They are not a step anything. It's hard to say grandma sometimes, but she is a grandparent. She treats me like a grandson. You would have thought I was my stepfather's real son, and I am. I call him dad. I'm not gonna sit here and no. So no, look, I'm that type of person. Okay, this is where the love theme kind of comes in. Okay, this is kind of where this comes in. The love theme comes in when you realize family that's not even yours accepts you for you, like that. Like grateful to God that I have extended family and all that, and step families and everything. Family is family, okay? Just because I have real aunts and uncles, that don't mean I don't have other aunts and uncles. I can say aunt, uncle. I can call everybody aunt, uncle. I can call you cousin, however it is. Now when it nope, not gonna do that. Hold on, I was about to say something dumb, and I realized I'm not gonna say something dumb. But anyway, the point is becoming a part of a family in a different way is not a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that makes you more special, and I think that makes you more loved. That means somebody. Look at mindset. Now, let me go back into the movie. Why it pissed me off enough was because this little girl was ungrateful. Oh, in case you didn't know, she died. The lady died. Eventually. She died, and then the pissiest part was when the daughter found out, and then she was like, well, prior to that, she was going, you're a black woman, you couldn't be my mother and such and such. Oh, you little ungrateful heifer. Now mind you, her mom was just the movie's sad, y'all, low key, but it's a good movie though. It's from 1934, but hey, I watched it. I was into this movie because it was like she was like making pancakes and stuff, and the white lady invested in the business, like invested in her, like, these are your pancakes? Yes, I make them with my special recipe and such and such. And she was like, oh, these are good. And I guess wherever she was, she's like, I want to do this. I'm going to make this into something. And she did. Pancake business. They got rich. They got paid. They got bigger houses and things like that. But the point is, a little ungrateful heifer pissed me off because that woman cared about you. Black or white, that woman cared about you, right? So she made sacrifices for you. First of all, she made a great big sacrifice because you're white. She's black. She adopted you because she wanted a child. You gotta think, life is not fair, guys, okay? That's the whole point of this. Life is not fair. You can't be selfish. That woman probably couldn't have kids. There were probably no black children for her to adopt. Maybe they didn't have black children back then. I mean, well, maybe that true. Okay, look, anything is possible now. Maybe they didn't have black children then, so maybe that was her only option. She wanted a little girl. Okay, she got herself a little girl. Now this little girl turned over on her. Let me explain, y'all. That woman died of a broken heart. Watch that freaking movie, Imitation of Life. Don't look for the 1956 version. I don't know. I haven't seen that version, okay? I watch a lot of TV movies. I haven't seen that version. I like that one. The 1934 version. The woman died basically of a broken heart. The little girl ran away. You're not my mother, and such and such. And she got older and older and older. Well, she got older. No, she might have been like her 30s when her mama died or something like that. I don't know. Something or whatever. But anyway, right. The pissiest part was she came back. When the mother when she died, she had the audacity to show up to her funeral and cry over the casket. I'm sorry. That pissed me off because what you mean you sorry? Do y'all not think like that? That's another thing I kind of advocate for. It's like common sense. Mental health and things like that. That woman died of a broken heart. Little do y'all know, I don't care how strong you are. I don't care who you think you are or what type of thug you think you are. When that hits you close, it's gonna hit you close. First of all, I don't think it hit her close. I just think that was instant regret, and that was grief and regret that she couldn't get back. Even though it was just a movie, guys, I get it. It was just a movie with a story and everything like that. Still, you came back to cry. Mama, I'm sorry. Mama, please. What pissed me off? I mean, clean off. I just wanted to punch that darn TV. I wasn't even born in 1934. Point is, she died of a broken heart. She got sick and everything like that. That's why you be kind to people. That's why you be nice to people, because you never know what they're going through. Okay? That was sickness. That was health. That was adoption. Oh, let me tell you else about something too. Why I kind of advocate for the things I do. Y'all know when I just said how childhood development is important. It's important things that we watch. Guess what? Some of the things I study also go beyond what you think. Okay? Some of those programs or whatever. I don't know if you guys y'all see the St. Jude commercials and everything like that, right? Right? And you see I don't know if you guys don't know if you guys know what Make-A-Wish is, but I'm gonna explain what that is and why I like doing what I do. My audience could possibly be children, but the fact that I'm reaching to somebody means a lot. This show is very little. Okay, not gonna lie to you, it's a very little show. It's like, it's cool to an extent, it's big in my head. But the point is, it's a very little show. Oh, but let me explain why I kind of advocate for Make-A-Wish. And I hope and pray that some way, somehow, one day, I get to work with them. You ever seen a sick child? You ever seen children go through things? That's why you ever seen a fond mama, and then not knowing that fond mama go back home to a disabled child or something like that. You ever think about things like that? I do. I personally do it. And before I even get into that, we're gonna end this TikTok live. Just for the sake of, guys, this was lots of fun. But nobody's on it, which is great, and everything like that. So anyway, you ever see people like that, like go through mess like that, like they have to go home and take care of somebody, and let alone, I pray they have patience. I really do, because I respect people like that. I actually respect people who, there's things, and like I said, this is kind of more on children based advocacy, just for the sake of, because it is. You never know what somebody's going through behind closed doors. That's why it really is important that we be kind to each other and to that person, to people. I personally think like, I respect that. I think I think you are really strong mentally, physically, and emotionally to come home, take care of whatever it is you need. But and then also, you never know what that disabled child goes through, or whatever. Special needs kids are actually great kids. They're great. I know when I was younger, I used to be afraid, but then as I got older, I didn't understand. Then I didn't understand. Now I understand. Like, they had a, some of these words are harsh they use, like birth defect or birth disability. They're the politically correct terms, but they sound like they hurt or whatever. But treat people with kindness, because you never know, whatever. Let alone whatever that child goes through. They can't help that. I know people who used to actually pick on people like that, and I didn't like that at all. Matter of fact, I probably know somebody who still picks on people like that, and I don't like that at all. Especially when it's not their fault and things like that. I personally, why? What is your point of that? What is your point in picking on them when they can actually come and hit you or whatever? Little do you know, life's not fair. Life is full of different shapes, different things or whatever. Life. For example, you could be normal one day, and then the next day you end up in a hospital and you can barely speak, or you don't even know what's going on. You see how quickly life can change? Within a split second, life can change. And that kind of makes me afraid, low-key. Like I said, I'm not afraid of truths or realities. I just find it interesting how why you think that's okay, and everything like that. And interested on how life can change or whatever. But there's this thing called Make-A-Wish. You all seen the St. Jude's Hospital, but Make-A-Wish I learned finding out through production when I was studying the productions I do. Make-A-Wish is basically like this charity or foundation. I don't quite know what it is, a non-profit. I don't know, but it's basically where you can say a sick child or a dying. I don't want to say dying child, but a sick child, basically, special, like special or whatever. They have this wish. They have this grant wish. They have this wish. I think they have a rush wish too, where the child's like terminally something. But either way, it's a wish, and their wish is to meet these different people, celebrities, characters, or whatever, and then they do their best to make all that happen, right? I learned about that. I wish you guys could see them. Maybe one day I'll put something in the corner or whatever, but I wish you all can see that. Like, it'll actually humble you. When I watch things like that, it actually humbles me. It humbles me that, first of all, what somebody is doing on the other side of the screen is affecting, in a positive way, affecting that person in a positive way, to the point where they love it. They love you. They think it's real or whatever, and that's somebody they love. That's somebody they care about. That's somebody they admire. That type thing. They're like, oh my gosh, that's my friend. That's somebody who understands me. Even though low-key television and movies is just a video, but still they care. I think it's real important that what we do when it comes for other people, we should definitely care or whatever. So Make-A-Wish is a really interesting idea. You guys can look it up though. They definitely do good things for sure. I find that interesting. I love it. I like to learn about things like that, because, like I said, that's one of the reasons I want to work in production. I don't want to be, not necessarily I have to be that person where somebody makes a wish and they want to be me. Well, I'm not that strong yet. That's not why I want to do it. But I find it interesting where it's like, it reaches normal people, and normal is such for the lack of a better term, but it reaches normal people, and then it reaches, our special need friends, or whatever, right? And I find that interesting. Like, that means a lot to me. And when I watch it, it humbles me, honestly. Sometimes I go back and watch it. You can look on YouTube too, but it's like, sometimes that humbles me too. Like, we should be grateful for life, because you never know what the kids are going through, such as their parents might be in a domestic situation, which leads into my next thing, when I'm about to tell you I advocate for. No to domestic violence and abuse. Personally, I don't think any man. Okay, hold on before I say that, because I am. If she's man enough to hit you, personally, I think I can't say that. You know why? I can't say that. Bible says turn the other cheek. And then the Bible also technically a man's not supposed to hit a woman. But I don't think a woman should hit a man either. I mean, in a fight, it's two. Just saying, throw your dukes up. You man enough to throw your dukes up, don't be surprised. Like, you think about it, you have some crazy heifer come, you a cheater, you a liar, you a this and that and that and that and this, and you just decide to go like this, and then he mess around, bam, slap you, and now you over there screaming, woo! Like that, that's your own fault. That is, first of all, that was a reaction. And then don't try to turn this story around. Men also go through domestic violence. I'm interested in knowing how. Probably because they don't believe in hitting a woman. Or a woman shouldn't believe it ain't go bad, but they do it. They do it. They do it. I don't think you should be that type of person where you should be putting. I think issues should be resolved by word of mouth and by speaking and by voicing. That's what I believe in. I believe that. However, though, I'm not everybody. Everybody's not me, and like I said, some people lack common sense. So, yeah, kind of have that problem. Too. However, when it comes to domestic violence, if it's continuous and it turns into abuse, seek professional help. Seek help by whoever it is that you trust. Whether it's a lawyer, whether it's a cop, whether it's your mom, your dad, your sister. And when I say somebody you trust, I mean somebody that's not going to go back and spread your freaking business. Somebody that's not going to go back and say, oh, so glad you're here. Listen, Deanna called me to talk about some things, and come to find out Terrence is over there beating on her, but she came to me for a safe place. First of all, that's not your place or business to tell. Okay? That's the first thing. Second of all, she came to you for help for a reason. Do not turn it. Don't go and spread that girl business out all over the place. Instead, go help Deanna. Get her out of that situation, because that could turn into something worse. You know, I watched an interview not too long ago. I watched, what was it? Barbara Walters interview. Yeah, I watch a lot of television. I know who Barbara Walters is, and you guys, if you don't know who that is, well, so be it. I watch television, so I study all types of television personnels and people like that. Okay, listen, I watched the documentary. Okay, she was an interesting woman. Who, by the way, God rest her soul. But I think in the documentary, she interviewed Mike Tyson. It wasn't Pam Grier, I don't think. Who was the woman he married, y'all? And was it? I feel like it was the girl from. Was it Robin Givens? Whoever it was he married, right? Okay. Barbara Walters was interviewing them, right? And mind you, it showed like a clip because they were discussing how she would ask questions, like them real deep questions or whatever. So she had asked them like, does he beat on you and things like that. Y'all, why did Robin Givens answer it in front of? Okay, so she asked. Look, I'm paraphrasing too, but she basically, Barbara Walters, they say that she knew really how to like get to you, you know. So she asked him in front, like in front of him, like, does he beat on you still? I think she said something like, not as much, but sometimes, some crap like that, right? And then Mike was over there, I can really work on my attitude and things like that. He was over there just telling, I hope I really love her. She's the love of my life, something like that or whatever. However it went right. First of all, you need to get out of that. I know it's easier said than done, but there is somebody who really cares about you when it comes to that. Just saying, there's definitely some things like that you can do. Oh boy, you can do to get out of that situation. You can say no. I know it hurts, but think about it. It's gonna hurt leaving, or it's gonna hurt in your eye, your nose, when your jaw broken. You see how that works? It's gonna hurt some way, somehow. And yeah, but I just found that interesting. I was like, yo, and I wasn't born then, so I don't know what happened and all that. Let alone Ricardo's on VHS, so I don't know. But still, she was telling that, but that was low key like a cry for help. Like, low key, that was a cry for help that somebody should go and help that person. Somebody should go help them. You see how that works? I don't think we took that as serious as we should have. And then probably right after that interview, he might went, okay, Miss Walters, thank you for coming. Instead, you raggedy, he over there cussing Robin out and probably beat her right after that during an interview. Yeah, that's not cool or whatever. I think you should definitely seek whoever it is that you need to get out of that situation, because the longer he beat on you, he can beat you to death. Us two niggas now, she can beat you to death too, and mainly because you don't believe in hitting a woman. That's great. I respect that. I really do, because yes, you shouldn't put your hands on a woman, but also a woman shouldn't put her hands on you. Okay? Now, the Bible says turn the other cheek. Now, if she punches on one cheek and then hit the other cheek, what cheek you gonna turn to now? Your front cheek? Your back cheek? You see how that works? What you gonna turn to? Your neck? See how that works? Or whatever. And then also, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of an advocate for this too. And you can look at me how you want to. You do the crime, you do the time. Personally, I give somebody time to think about what they done and how they done it and things like that. I personally don't want to go to jail at all. I wouldn't survive. I doubt it. I would probably run my mouth around and then mess around. Things would happen. Anyway, yeah, you do the crime, you do the time. It love hurts. Just like I've told you guys before, love hurts. That mofo hurts. When you really gotta let go of something or someone that you loved and cared about so deeply, yeah, that mofo can hurt. However, it's gonna hurt now, but you can heal later. Think about it. Don't you value your life? Don't you care about your life? Don't you care about things that don't you care? You see how that works? Like, don't you want to be something? Don't you want to live to be something if you're not already something? To be someone? What if you have children, bro? Think about it. You want somebody else to raise your kids? Be real now. Think about that. You had them kids. You love them kids. Do you want someone else to raise your kids? Because you can't? Think long and hard about that now. I mean, I'm just saying, that might just be me. I'm saying that, but think about it. Life's not fair, bro. We can't be selfish. We don't have time to be selfish. I can't. No matter how moody, stuck up, you care about yourself and yourself only, you can't be selfish. No. I had to learn that. I can't be selfish. None of us can be selfish. Do what's best for you and your kids, Like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, it's okay to be like that. But still, these are things I definitely advocate for. Definitely things I care a lot about. And I advocate for more. I just can't think of it right now. But I do it because it's like, the world is a nasty place. Okay? However, the world is not a perfect place at all. But it can be a better place if we really wanted to. Once again, I don't live in this world, I live in mine. My world is a great place. But still, like, you definitely want you want a better place. That's why I advocate for some of the things. I mean, mind you, some of the things I say might seem a little harsh, but they're not harsh. It just means I care, Like, let's do better. Let's take certain situations, scenarios, instances, conflicts, things like that. It's another word from, I just really couldn't think of the word right now. But it's things that we can definitely take into consideration in learning onto how to love people. That's really what most of the, and that's another thing too. When you advocate for something, I feel like that's a part of, I want to learn how to love somebody. Like anybody that was adopted, I want to learn how to love you. You know, did you go through things that may have caused you to be put in a foster home or care? Were you the wild child? Were you things like that? Like, see how that works? I want to be that type person to do it. So they, you know, it's different things like that. How to really love someone. So anyway, guys, that is our season finale of the Waddy Talk podcast. We did a thing. We did it. I want to thank every single body that has tuned into this season. Season 4 is on the way. We are having a season 4. Yeah, woo. We are definitely having that. Because you guys tune to it. So hopefully I get to at least 100 episodes, and maybe I'll end it. I don't know for sure. Maybe somebody will pick it up and we'll go from there. Sometimes it hurts to talk, but hey, I can do it all day, every day. I love to talk or whatever. But I thank everybody who has been on this show this season. AJ, Ariana, Shiana, Anna, and me, that has been on the show. I want to thank you all. I want to send a thank you to my marketing team, Waddell Richardson, and to the editors and the broadcasters and everything like that. I want to thank you too, Waddell Richardson. I also want to thank shout out to Keith. He let me borrow the camera to film, to stream and present this show to you guys. Definitely want to thank him too for allowing me to borrow it and take care of it. So hopefully next season is a more happier. I ain't gonna say happier. This season has been happier. It's just love. Is a next season. I hope it's a great season. Let's just say that. I hope it's a great season next season. I'm working on a new backdrop, guys. I hope to have that by the time right after this season ends. So we're gonna see how it goes or whatever. I mean, I know how I want it done, everything. I know what I have to get. Yeah, I just need my brother, the one that had my niece. I need him. So so me and him can create this project thing together. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. You guys give me something to look forward to. Even though my show ain't that big and maybe only 8 people are going to watch this season. I don't know and I don't care. Because guess what? I do it because I have fun. I do it because I love to do it. I picked a really fun career. I'm going to have fun. Just because you don't see the vision, that don't mean I'm not going to have fun. Hey, all I need is one right person. 7 people can look at my show. And one of those 7 could be the right people to get me where I want to be. So, that being said or done, I thank you for tuning in. This is episode 51. So we have definitely have done a thing. But anyway, guys, we made it. Guys, this season was themed. It was themed love. And love is patient. Love is kind. Love hurts. Love comes in all different shapes and sizes. Okay? Let me explain. I can't say I love you first, but doggone it, you people, I do. Okay? I do because you tune into my show and you really care about whatever it is that I'm actually doing. So, that being said or done, I want to thank you again. That is a wrap on season 3. We did a thing.
Omido for the beat.